So first things first, I just want to be clear and let you guys know that obviously my top 3 choices for MVP, like everyone else, Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis. So I'm just going to be straight up and once again be honest with you guys. I'm a little bit biased because if you look at my channel name, I'm mostly a Denver Nuggets fan. I am a Denver Nuggets fan. That's my number 1 team. That's who I'm rooting for. I've been a fan of them for over 10, damn near 20 years. So it's like, all right, I have a little bit of a bias, and my bias is that I think in this order it goes Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid. So let's just jump into the reasons why I thinking how I'm thinking. Also, just so you guys are aware, I guess the MVP award will be handed out tonight. I'm currently recording this at about 10:30, so by the time I upload this, it might be after the MVP award has been issued, might be before. I don't know who's won, so this might be after the MVP award has already been, awarded. I hope it's Jokic. If it's Embiid, then this is still just my case for Jokic being MVP. So just keep that in mind that I do not know who's won while recording this. So I'm recording this before the award has been awarded, but yeah, so there you guys go. There's that little bit of info for you. First thing is going to be defense. Everyone talks about how Jokic is not a good defender, but he actually isn't a bad defender. You guys just use the eye test. But okay, so Jokic is not a shot blocker. I'll be the first to admit that. He is not a shot blocker. But being a shot blocker doesn't make you just a defensive player of the year. All right? Like if that was the case, Marcus Smart would not be winning defensive player of the year, because let's be real, he's a guard. He doesn't get a lot of block shots. All right? So just because a guy doesn't get block shots doesn't mean he's not a good defender, because he gets a lot of steals. I think he was leading the league as a center. Not the league. So he was the leading center in the league. So obviously shooting guards and stuff will average more steals, but for a center position player, I believe Jokic is actually leading all centers in steals. So it's not like he gets a lot of tip passes. He gets a lot of swipe downs. He's just not a shot blocker. So if that's your case that he's not a good defensive player, he actually is. If you actually watch the games, he's not bad. He's not as bad as he used to be. He used to be terrible, but he's still not a shot blocker, which I understand. The next topic might be it might piss off a lot of Embiid fans. I'm sorry, but I gotta address it. It's the ducking. Let's be real. So Embiid, I did not know this, but Embiid has apparently not played against Jokic in Denver for 3 years now. 3 years. All right, and it really bugs me how Embiid you can say Philly fans, Embiid fans, whatever, because it's also the media, how they're all like, especially Skip Bayless. God, I cannot stand Skip Bayless. That guy's delusional. He's not realistic at all.
Let me tell you how I'm able to shoot like that. When you don't play defense, that's how you shoot like that.
Yeah.
You keep telling me, Paul George and Kawhi, they the greatest wing defenders since Pip and Jordan. I can't tell.
One sick, one hurt.
But he always says Embiid smoked Jokic with 47 last time they played. That's literally all he goes off of. But yet Embiid hasn't played against Jokic in Denver in 3 years. At least Jokic is showing up in Philadelphia and doing his job. All right? Embiid hasn't even showed up in the last 3 years in Denver. So it's like, and then last time he was in Denver, Jokic hit the game-winning shot. So, and then can we also talk about how PJ Tucker was guarding Jokic the majority of the game when they were in Philly? So it must be nice for Embiid to take defensive plays off and then just save all of his energy for offense against Jokic when Jokic has to battle with PJ Tucker on the offensive end and then guard Embiid, because at least they have Embiid or Jokic on Embiid. They're not switching Aaron Gordon onto Embiid. So like, let's talk about that too, because that must be nice for Embiid to do that. So it amazes me how Embiid could just duck Jokic and then also lose against Giannis, and he's still in the talk for MVP. So yeah, towards the end of the season, Embiid ducked Jokic in Denver, and then he lost against Giannis. But yeah, he's still, everyone's like, I want to say everyone, because if you're a real basketball player, a real NBA fan, you know that Jokic pretty much deserves to be MVP. But Embiid, like the media, if it was Jokic, if he would have ducked Giannis, or not, if he would have ducked Embiid and then lost to Giannis at the end of the season, he would not be MVP. let's be real. He would not be MVP. They would not consider him MVP. But yet with Embiid, they're like, oh, that's okay. That's okay. It's like, no, get out of here. So that point is pretty ridiculous to me. But then you can say that Jokic ducked Giannis in Milwaukee. And in my defense, it was a back-to-back game. Do I think Jokic should have played? Of course. Obviously I do. But it's a back-to-back, so, you know, it's kind of whatever. And honestly, that's the reason why I have Giannis as an MVP more than Embiid. Because because I think when they played in Denver, it was on a back-to-back for the Bucks. I think it was a back-to-back, and they played in Utah the night before. And Giannis, you know, he shows up, man. Like, he doesn't duck. They might have lost, but to me, I'm like, at least he played. At least he played. So in my eyes, I guess that earns a lot of respect points for me. So that's why I think Giannis should be in second place, because Embiid, the way it was, I think they played the Warriors one day, the Suns the next. It was like a doubleheader, like Warriors and then Suns or something. A day off, and then Denver. A day off, and then Mavericks. For some reason, he just skipped the Denver game and then played against the Mavericks. He could have just sat out the Suns game on the second night of the back-to-back and played against Denver, but he didn't. I know he fucking planned. He just planned to duck Jokic in Denver. I know that's what happened. And there's no way you're gonna convince me otherwise. That's just how he's like, oh, I'm gonna need a rest one of these days, knowing very well that he was gonna play against Jokic. And so he just ducked it because he didn't want to get smoked in Denver and lose the chances of MVP, so he just didn't play. That's pretty much it. So that kind of, yeah, had to talk about the ducking because it's getting ridiculous. 3 years he hasn't played in Denver. 3. So let's also talk about how out of the 3 players, the 3 MVP candidates, that Jokic is the only one where his team has a losing record. Like, the Denver Nuggets are the only team out of those 3 where their MVP candidate is out. They actually have a losing record. The Bucks and the 76ers still have winning records without their MVP caliber players on their team. So to me, that just screams like, hey, it's an MVP, all right? Like, it's the most valuable player. If their team's still winning without you, are you really that much of an MVP? Like, I don't mean to sound like a dick, but Jokic's team, let's be real, Jokic's team, Denver, there would be nowhere if Jokic was not on this team. That's just how it is. Like, they would be nowhere. Like, he literally carried them the last 2 years with the injury-riddled seasons, especially last year. Last year, he carried them. So I just, you know, that's just a little fact. That's all. That the Milwaukee and 76ers both have winning records without Giannis and Embiid. The Nuggets, however, have a losing record without Jokic. So a little fun little tidbit for you guys. Then also let's talk about how it's funny how when the Nuggets went on a losing streak, everybody freaked out, basically passed the MVP to Embiid, and was all like, you know, the Nuggets are on a slide, so we're gonna have to give it to Embiid. But yet the Sixers went on a slide, losing 4 out of 5 games towards the end, and no one cares. None of the media cares. The Nuggets could lose like 5 games, and they're just like, oh, yep, let's just pass it to Embiid. But the 76ers lose 4 out of 5 games, and it's just like, no, it's okay. That's cool. Embiid's still going to be considered MVP. Like, what? That makes no sense to me. That makes absolutely 0 sense. Another thing is going to be the crying that Embiid does. Like, I don't mean for this to be like just a complete like just bash on Embiid, but God, I've never seen someone cry so much for an MVP award. Like, this man is just like, I swear to God, like, he cannot go through his day without thinking of, oh, I want MVP. I got to get MVP. Like, he might like, you know, knock on wood, but he might jump off a cliff if he doesn't win it. Like, I've never seen a grown man care so much about MVP. Maybe a little bit like, kind of like Russell Westbrook, because we saw how he wanted the triple-double average, yada, yada, yada. But like, God, Embiid just cries and he just whines, and that's like literally all. Like, I've never seen it to a point to where like even the coach is just like, he deserves MVP. He should get MVP. Like, after every like game, like when Coach Malone, like when he does his post games, he's all like, well, that's why Jokic is MVP. We got a 2-time MVP. Like, he's playing really well. Like, like we expect that from him. Like, but then Doc Rivers over here just like, he deserves MVP. Like, if he doesn't get it, I don't know what qualifies as MVP anymore. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, holy shit, dude. Like, and then let's be real. Doc Rivers is overrated. Like, I'm sorry if I have to be the bearer of bad news. for all you Doc River fans and everyone who likes Doc Rivers, but that dude's overrated as fuck, all right? Like, let's just be real. He won the chip in 2008 with the stacked Celtics roster of Rajon Rondo, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen, all right? Like, since then, what has he won? He hasn't won anything. He's blown more 3-1 leads than he has championships. So I'm just like, I don't understand why I've never seen one championship carry a coach so much as Doc Rivers. I don't understand it. He lost when he was with the Clippers. He had Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan. Couldn't do anything with them. And then he had Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Didn't do anything with them. Now he's over there in Philadelphia. He's had Embiid. Can't do anything with him and Ben Simmons. Well, you know, Ben Simmons is Ben Simmons, but you can't do anything with them. And now I'm just like, bro, I don't understand why like everyone thinks he's such a great coach. I just really like, he won a chip damn near 20 years ago, and is carrying him. I don't understand. Like, does no one see how overrated he is as a coach? I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. But it's just funny how much they cry about it and they whine about it, and they're preaching for Embiid getting the MVP. But yet Jokic is over here just riding horses in Serbia, just riding, you know, at his stables, just not really caring, just like going off the grid, no social media, not, you know, like I said, this man's just riding horses. He's just having a good time. One of the last things I want to touch on, because this video is getting kind of long, is I hate how the media portrays Jokic. I hate it. Like, I swear, like, whenever Jokic, like, okay, so I'm recording this right after game 2 of the Suns round 2 matchup, Suns versus Nuggets. Jokic just scored 39 points, had 16 rebounds. And I swear, every single time Jokic has an amazing game, has a fantastic game, Stephen A and the media, especially Stephen A, every single time it's the same shit. He'll be like, he can't jump on a curb. He's the most unathletic. It just amazes me how this guy he can't jump at all. Literally, that's what Stephen A will say every single time. And he thinks it's funny every single time. I'm like, dude, you've said that like 30,000 times. If you say the same joke 30,000 times, it's going to get dull. Like, just give the man his flowers. Give the man his props.
But to see this guy, I mean, just the way he walks, it looks like he's wobbling when he's walking into an arena, for crying out loud, let alone when he's on the court. He can't jump onto a curb. He might get a half inch off the damn ground. No one can stop him.
It's crazy how they disrespect him so heavily before they throw out a compliment. It baffles me. It amazes me. I don't, like, when do you ever see, like, oh, Embiid, that guy's always injured. That guy's just, he can't stay healthy, blah, 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 but he's unstoppable. I don't hear that of any other player. I really don't. It's just Jokic. They'll say he's the most unathletic. He can't run. He can't move. He can't play defense. He can't jump onto a curb. He can't jump over a phone book. Can't jump over a speed bump, but he's unstoppable. And like, that's it. Like, I'm just like, why do you guys have to fucking disrespect him so much and then try to throw a compliment now? Just throw the fucking compliment. Like, I don't understand, like, why the media just sits there and just disrespects Jokic. So, like, we see him, all right? We know he's not the most athletic. But good God, you guys state the same shit every fucking episode of First Take and, like, you know, all this other stuff. Like, come on, man. Like, stop. The only one who gives him respect is, bless his heart, man, Shannon Sharp. I love watching Shannon Sharp. Skip Bayless, that guy's delusional. First Take, they disrespect him, except for JJ Redick. I do like JJ Redick, and I do like Shannon Sharp. Those guys are real ones. So that just bugs me. And then also with the media, come on, like, Perkins. Really, dude? He has to sit there and say, like, the voters are racist if they vote Jokic as a 3-time MVP.
But we do know this, since you do want to bring it up, we do know this, that when it comes to MVP voting, 80% of the voters are white American. 20% are others. I know that stat. If you want to talk about advanced stat, I do know that one.
That's just the most stupidest outtake I've ever. Like, after I heard that, I was like, I can't even watch Perkins anymore. It bugs me. Like, his voice, it bugs the hell out of me. I can't listen to him anymore. And then when he says, he just says Jokic is stat padding, and Stephen A's like, are you saying he's stat padding? And Perkins like, you heard what the hell I said.
Are you sitting here and saying Nikola Jokic is having his numbers padded? Is that what you're saying?
You heard what the hell I said.
oh my God, I want to just run into oncoming traffic. Like Perkins has like when they say like just because you play basketball doesn't mean you know basketball. That's pretty much what it is with Perkins. And let's be real, what credentials does Perkins has? Like what does he have for credentials? Not really. Like sure, he played on the Celtics team when they were stacked, but it's not like he was like, shit, I would rather take JJ Redick over Perkins. Like or Richard Jefferson. I'd rather take him over Perkins. Like they were better players than he was. Why is he even on the show? I don't know why they selected him to be on there. His takes are terrible the majority of the time. He literally said that the voters were racist, and then he also said that Jokic is stat padding. And because of that, I feel like Jokic could have averaged a triple-double, but towards the end, he's just like, no, I don't really want to. Because the take where Perkins says that that Jokic is shooting less and passing more and his teammates are shooting more.
I said he had 8 games where he had single-digit shot attempts. And for a while, it was 9.5 assists he was averaging, 9.8. And all of a sudden, I saw those shot attempts and his points go down, and I started to see his assists go up.
Like, how does that make sense? Like, yeah, the last 2 seasons, his teammates were fucking injured. Like, what do you mean? So when he has actual teammates that can shoot the ball and he passes it to him and they make it, you're gonna say that's stat padding? Like what? Like it just Perkins is his thought process makes no sense. If I had teammates that can shoot the damn ball, I'm gonna pass it to them. They're gonna give me assist. Yeah. If they're injured the seasons before, who am I gonna pass to? No one can shoot. So of course I'm gonna score. So my assists are gonna be down, points are gonna be up. When they come back, my points are gonna drop a bit, and my assists are gonna go up because I'm passing to the guys who could actually shoot, like MPJ and Jamal Murray. And now we have KCP. So Perkins just irritates me on a whole other level. But if you're trying to say like how Jokic knew he was at 9.5 and was trying to get up to 10, it's like, bro, let's be real. MPJ is just a fucking flamethrower. That guy's gonna shoot whatever he wants to shoot. And the passes that Jokic is giving to his teammates, they're legit shots. They are open shots. They're wide open. So of course, like and Jokic, let's be real, is a pass first kind of guy. So if he sees a wide open teammate, he's gonna pass it. That's just who he is naturally. You could tell. There are times where I've been irritated that he's not more aggressive. But we just saw in game 2 of the Suns series that he can be aggressive when he wants to be. But he also wants to get his teammates going. You can see after his post-game interviews that he doesn't care about MVPs and stuff. But when he became the Nuggets all-time leading assister, he was like, this is actually the one that I actually care about because that means I'm getting my teammates involved. He's a team first oriented player. That's just how he is. So don't sit there and try to say that he's stat padding. It's just stupid. And once again, I am probably uploading this either right before or right after the MVP announcement has taken place. So as of right now, I don't know who won, but when I upload this, it'll probably be out by then. So let's be real, Embiid's probably going to win it because everyone is so against Jokic winning it. I just don't think he's going to. I personally want him to win it. I think on the last MVP MVP ladder, Jokic was actually on top. On the very last one of the season, Jokic was actually on top. So I think Jokic deserves it. Obviously, number 1 seed, dude's averaged damn near triple-double, which I know he would have if he just didn't. I think he didn't want to prove Perkins right because Perkins is dumb. But like, it's just, dude. Like, I think Jokic should win it, and then like I said, Giannis should be second, and Embiid should be third. It's just the entire end of the season where Embiid ducked Jokic in Denver for the 3rd consecutive year and then lost to Giannis. That should weigh a lot. Like, I'm sorry, because if that was Giannis or Jokic and they did the exact same thing, let's be real. They would pass the torch to someone else. They'd be like, no, he's ducking, and then no, he lost to the other MVP candidate. He ducked one MVP candidate and then lost to the other. Like, that has severe stakes. Like, come on, man, those games are important. So that's my order. I don't know who's winning it. I don't know who has won. I'm uploading this right before or right after, so that's just my hot take. You guys can say what you want. Try not to grill me too much in the comments. Appreciate you guys for listening to my rant. I do like Embiid, like I said. There's just certain shit about him that, like the crying, and honestly, it's not even so much Embiid or the crying about Embiid, yeah, but it's more like the politics. Like, this is turning into such an ugly political thing. Like, it just, Like, that's what I don't like about this right now, I guess. So it's not just Embiid, it's more like the politics and stuff. But well, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully Jokic wins this. That'd be cool. I'm honestly more concerned about a championship at this point. And if Embiid has it, he could have it. Give us a championship because we're playing really well right now. We're up 2-0 against the Suns. Hopefully we can close this out. And I think we're going to make it pretty far. So I will see you guys next time.